This is how I message the AI that lives in my computer. What is the airspeed velocity of a swallow? And when I say lives, I obviously don't mean that it's alive or it pays rent, but that's where it runs. It runs on my desktop using my GPU and at my house, and I message it directly from my iPhone. I built this with Python using FastAPI, using a couple different technologies. The first is Ollama. Ollama is the thing that actually allows the LLM, the large language model, to run on my computer. This allows me to pick from almost like an app store or a registry of different LLMs to run them locally on my machine using my GPU. I then use sendblue. Sendblue is an iMessage as a service. It allows me to message people back and forth using iMessage. But it also allows me to send a webhook, and I can send that webhook to my local machine. I can expose the FastAPI endpoint to the public internet, and sendblue can send messages to that endpoint, and they get processed locally on my machine. Now, whenever I'm out and about, I can still ask questions of various LLMs that are all running locally. You can check out the code and the repo to run it yourself on your own computer at local LLM messenger or ollama. It's available for free on GitHub. Disclaimer, I made this for a hackathon. It is not good code. It's something that works in my use case, but your mileage may vary. The entire thing is packaged up into Docker containers. So you clone the repo, you do Docker compose up, and it should run the entire app locally. I'll have a full setup video next week to show you how to get started, but for now, check out the README in the repo, and that should give you enough information to run the app and connect it to sendblue. And let me show you real quick how it works. So I can do things like send the help message, which will give me a list of available commands. And these are just ones that I thought of that I needed whenever I was out and about. And if you have an OpenAI API key, you can also use ChatGPT and ChatGPT models. The ChatGPT API is a little limited right now, but as it expands, we'll be able to add more LLMs that they also support. I can install new LLMs with just a /install command. It does take a little while because language models are large. That's the point of them. So you're going to be downloading anywhere from 3 gigs to 60 gigs of information. I can also set a model as the default to use for all queries whenever I'm sending messages without specifying which one. And if I want to override the defaults, I can say @ in the language model I want. So something like @code, how do I install OpenAI Python library? One of the really cool unintended consequences of using Messenger to interface with an LLM is I get integrations that I wouldn't necessarily have otherwise. Send a message to my computer.
What do you want to say to my?
Why are there wavy lines on the road on a hot day?
It says, why are there wavy lines on the road on a hot day? Send it.
Yes.
Done.
Read my messages.
Wavy lines on a road during a hot day are caused by the expansion of the asphalt due to high temperatures. As the sun heats the road surface, it expands and contracts, creating waves or undulations in the surface. This can cause the road to feel rougher and more uneven for drivers and pedestrians. Would you like to reply?
No.
That's all your messages.
And that's just cool. I mean, I don't know what to say. I didn't expect that side effect, and that's just a fun way to interact with it. And that's it. I can just message the AI that lives in my computer. I decided to use a messaging interface instead of something like a web page because it's just easier on the go. If you decide to run the app too, please let me know, drop a comment, and give it a star on GitHub or send an issue. I'm still working on it a little bit to add some features that I want as I'm finding that I'm walking around doing stuff, and I want a simple interface to message one of these generative AI models. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.